Hi girls, welcome back to another episode of Girls Like Me. Today we have something a little bit different. So I'm actually here with one of my friends, Anna.
Hey.
We've got Anna in the studio, and me and Anna used to actually work together, which is where we became friends. Anna actually hired me and did the recruitment to hire me. So yeah, say hi, Anna.
Hey girls.
So yeah, this episode, obviously it's January now. We're just going to have a little bit of a chit chat because you guys know I've transitioned over the past year of like getting rid of Airbnbs in October, like I mentioned in the last episode. I've changed my job about 100 different times. I've kind of been finding my feet in terms of what I want to do. And I feel like me and Anna, although we haven't seen each other in a very long time, we're like, our wavelength is like
It's just there.
the same. And we'll always say that. So I thought, do you know what? Anna would be the perfect person to have this conversation with. And also because you're still working recruitment as well. So yeah, tell the girls a little bit about yourself, Anna.
Okay, so I mean, job-wise, I've worked in recruitment for almost 4 years now, which, oh my God. I, as you know, have two little babies. Well, they're not babies anymore. They are 5 and 8. I have about 50 different hobbies I'm trying to balance and a life I'm trying to balance. But I think, I mean, as a person, I'm quite bubbly anyway, aren't I?
Yeah, you are. She's really bubbly.
Yeah, that's me.
Do you know what? When you said it, I even forgot about your kids, even though we just spoke about them. So me and Anna actually went to the same college. We're in the same year. And I remember you from college as being the pregnant girl at college.
Yeah.
And I never had the confidence. I think I said this to either you or my jam on the way back. I said it to one of my sisters. And it was like, I always felt like I wanted to go up to you at college and be like, well done. Because you had this like pot belly, and obviously you were the only person that was pregnant at college.
Yeah, it's
so
not
it was very
common.
noticeable.
Yeah.
But you used to look really nice. And I remember like one dress as well that you wore. I thought, nice.
I think it's
And
my great one, actually. I think it was like a nice bump one.
I think it
know,
was.
yeah.
And she was pregnant, guys. And then normally, do you know, like when you see like teenage mom pregnant, she's going to drop out of college. I seen you have a bump, and then the next day you didn't have a bump. And then you must have had the baby and come back to college. And I was like, do you know what? You're a real
2
bitch for that.
weeks.
Like proper real bitch for coming back to college and
I
completing
mean,
that.
my mum, so she's like an immigrant mother. So she had high expectations academically from me.
Yeah.
I mean, just before I found out I was pregnant, I obviously came out GCSEs, all A's, A stars. I got a scholarship at private school. And then I went, Mum, by the way, I'm pregnant. And she was like, no, Anna. And it was a bit complicated because I found out so late.
So how old were you when you fell pregnant?
So 16 when I fell pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in college, that was your second child?
No, first. So Sophia was 16.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
'cause we
Leo
just
was at
literally went
19.
to-
Yeah. So I got pregnant with Sophia, very, very unexpectedly found out 5 months, which is wild. Bit too late to have an abortion as well, so that wasn't necessarily like an option I tried.
Did you not think like, where's my period been for the past 5 months?
Girl, so listen, I went on 3 holidays, and you know the contraceptive pill?
Yeah.
I thought, right, I'm going on holidays, I don't want a period, I'm just going to take the pill constantly.
Okay.
So I didn't think twice, I didn't think about that. And then when I came back off holiday, I was like, right, let my body just regulate. I think I was being a bit naive, to be honest with you. When I hadn't had a period for like 2 weeks, then I was like, right, let me do a test. Mate, when I say I saw that test, I started hoovering the walls. I'm not even joking, I was stressed. And yeah, I mean, coming out of college was never an option. So as soon as I had Sophia, I was back within 2 weeks of having her doing like biochem and psychology. It was intense.
Do you know what though as well? Like one of my bestest friends who I went to college with was speaking about it. And I don't know, like, if you didn't come into the conversation, but I was like, oh my God, do you know that pregnant girl that was from college? She's my friend now. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, like I actually know her now.
Yeah, I don't feel like I fit into the stereotypical teenage pregnancy.
No.
Which is, yeah, I kind of look back and I think nobody would have like saw that one coming.
Yeah.
But I am very, very proud of myself, I'll be honest, like really proud of myself. I had to work so hard in college. And whilst everyone else was like out going on holidays or, you know, doing things, I was like going home and studying with Sophia. And I was like, how I look back and I'm like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I've got them too. I don't want any more. I am done.
Yeah, I would be as well.
In my 30s.
They're at a nice age though. Like you don't need any more. Like,
I don't.
it's
One of
done.
each as well. One of each. I'm
nice.
happy. Yeah.
They seem like really, obviously I've never met them, but they seem like really nice kids as well. Like, you can always tell.
I'm so proud of them. They really are. They're kind, they're empathetic. I try and teach them how to be that kind of good person, how
Yeah.
to like not judge somebody, because I think the biggest thing that I experienced in college was judgment from a lot of people. I remember walking around and like hearing whispers, oh my God, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, I'm right here. But also in the same
I
breath,
feel
it
I
is
feel really
not-
bad because I feel like I should have came up to you and said hi.
Oh no, but like that doesn't like bother me that you didn't. It was more the actual judgment, because I don't think you judged. I just think like, oh,
No, I looked at you like, that's a real bitch. Like, that's a real bitch. Like, when I seen you have the bump, and I remember because you're really pretty as well. Like, I remember seeing you at college, I was thinking, oh, she looks cool, whatever else.
And then
She dresses nice, and then she's got a bump. And then it was when you came back, it really baffled me because I was really not preying on your downfall, but I just thought, that's it, you're not going to come back to
Yeah.
college. And then when you did, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I had a very, very supportive teacher. I remember her name was Rad. Do you remember? Did you use psychology?
I did psychology, but
you
my
didn't
teacher
have-
was Katie.
Oh, you were next door.
Yeah.
So I had Rad, and I met up with her outside of college with Sophia.
you?
Yeah, she was so supportive.
That's
And I don't
nice.
think I could have. She really motivated me to come
That's
back. She was
really
like, Anna,
nice.
don't let this stop you. You've got a future. You're bright. Don't kind of let this.
That was really nice.
Yes, very, very nice.
Shout out, Rad, if you
Shout
ever see
out,
this.
Rad. I'm going to send it to her.
So, like, fast forward now.
Yeah.
How we met is I met Anna in a very weird period of my time as well, because I can say this now, but at the time, I had my property management company and I was doing really well in that, but I didn't actually have a job at the time.
Yeah, because at the time when you were working with us, you were also doing that on the side, weren't you? Yeah.
So, but I lived with my ex as well, and like he had a job, so that kind of like we lived together as well. So that was like bringing in a source of income as well. So when I was left by myself, obviously we got rid of the house when we broke up, but then I was like, oh my God, I need a job. Like I need a full-time job.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing was like, I needed a full-time job to qualify for a mortgage. Still don't have a mortgage, by the way, guys. But that was my brain process.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I don't think I started the job because I wanted to do it, or it was like something that I actually wanted
Nobody
to progress
goes
in.
into recruitment
It was
wanting to do
literally
it though.
because I just needed a job, and I was
Yeah.
like, I could do this. People ask me to help out with their CVs. I feel like I'm a judge good like
Yeah.
character and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where we kind of.
Did you know I got commission for you starting?
Did
Shout out,
you?
Alima. Yeah.
How much did you get for hiring me?
I think at the time the commission structure was £250 when you started,
Well,
£250 after 6 months,
Yeah.
and then £500 after a year.
fuck off.
Yeah. So you
She even made money
back.
from me.
I know.
Love that. But no, as you should, well deserved, because I feel like I'm anyone
You
that's
were a
hired
good
me.
recruiter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone that has hired me, I've never not got a job that I wanted. I think I
Yeah,
got
me too,
declined by like
actually.
Marks and Spencer's the other day. Apart from that, I never really like a job that I've gone to an interview for. I've never
Never
not
got, yeah.
So yeah, that was that. So how was your kind of like career experience dealing with this all?
So I think when I started degree 6 was my first ever role in recruitment. I didn't know what to expect. But genuinely speaking, since moving to a different company, not every recruitment agency is the same.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say too
We're not
much.
going to go into details.
Yeah. But what I would say to anybody sort of looking at a career, or who feel kind of like stuck, for example, thinking, oh, there's not going to be better out there.
Yeah.
Don't let an employer deter you from moving to something that is better. That's my advice. Because yeah, I've had a lot of chats with the directors at degree 6, and they weren't very like encouraging or anything. Whereas actually these guys, they've already said to me, like I've told them, I don't plan on being in recruitment forever. By the way, this is not a forever job, but it's amazing for me at the minute because I get flexibility. You guys pay amazing commission.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? I'm glad we met each other, and I hope that in the future I can help you in whatever you want to do. And that's the kind of director you should be working for. The one that doesn't want to like, do you know what I mean? Isn't that like I'm possessive?
That's very interesting though, because I had a conversation with one of the directors, and they kind of gave me a bit of advice, like go and do property. Like if that's what you're doing, and that's go and do that. And he was actually quite nice to me. I've not seen or spoke to anyone really again, but that was kind of my impression. But in that environment, I think it was very like...
I think because they were competitors though, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's why I had a different
Yeah.
side to them that you probably did.
Yeah. But I feel like as a whole, girls are so stuck on what they should do. And I feel like there's so much on social media now, like this is success. Like you've got to be an entrepreneur. You've got to this, you've got to that. And I meet so many people all the time. Like I'm team 9 to 5. I know you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I feel like a 9 to 5 does actually give you like a heck of a lot of stability. And you can then go and use those
Go and do that,
finances to go and put into anything else.
That's exactly it. And with kids as well, like working shifts, I've done shifts. When I did midwifery at uni, obviously I was working shifts, and that's impossible for parents. Like, it genuinely is so hard for parents. You can't do it, can you? I advocate for 9 to 5s, 100%. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're running a business, you're probably working every hour under the sun anyway.
Actually, that's the thing. Like, I was an entrepreneur. Like, they used to see it because the team that I worked with, like, some people were really nice, some people were just, it is all right. But then they would see me, like, go and do stuff. So I had Airbnbs in city centre, which is like 5-10 minute walk from where it was. So on my lunch break, I would like go and do something. Or if, like, let's say someone needed more toilet roll, I'd go buy toilet roll on my lunch break and then go to drop it off in an Airbnb and come back. And they're just like, very much of, I feel like I've always had the like, oh, well, if you're doing that, then you can't concentrate on this, or you can't da, 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 da. And I feel like I really hate that mindset as well, because most people like myself, I've had loads of different jobs. Like, my LinkedIn bio, I'm a liar. Don't ever look at that. Like, I'm the biggest liar on LinkedIn.
Yeah, word for word.
Because I think it says that I've worked at Selfridges and then that's it. Like, that's the only job that I've ever put on there. Because also from an employer point of view, knowing someone that's changed their job like every single year,
and from a recruiter's perspective,
from a recruiter's perspective, you're thinking, nope, they're not going to stay for long. That's why I haven't. But I've done loads of different jobs. But I feel like only in this year I go to work and I love my job. Like, I love what I do, because I wanted a role that was also in development. So I knew that I didn't want to progress with like property management, because I'd never dreamed of property management, but it was just something like I was doing for the money, and like the money was good. So I was like, how am I going to say no to this? But then I really love interior design. That's something that I've always wanted to do as well. But the development thing has always been like my bigger goal. So I went to someone, which I did a talk with. His name's Adam. If you listen to this, because apparently you listen to my podcast, shout out Adam.
Shout out.
I went to him, so I did a talk. It was like me, him, some other property people, and like the ex-mayor of Leicester. We all did like a community property talk and stuff for people. And then after that, we kind of like exchanged contacts, because I had tried to get Airbnb properties with him, and his estate agent had declined me like every single time. They're like, no. So then I went to him, and he was like, here's what I'll do. This is what I'll do. He basically said, keep a few of them and then come what? And then I'd met him like 4 or 5 times. Then he was like, do you know what? Do you just want to come work for me? And you can kind of build that development side. You can help out with the social media side. If you want to do interior and that's something that you focus on, you can also help with that in terms of like the HMOs, the developments, that kind of thing. And it's the first time in my whole life where I get to work early. So I get to work an hour early, like every day.
Yeah.
And I just like get set up. I really like it. I really enjoy it. But it's taken me to 25 to actually find and figure out.
And I think as well, when you kind of meet somebody that can guide you a little bit, that's what you need. You need somebody who can say, right, this is what you want to do. Here's how I'm going to help you. But that's amazing that you met him, and like, you're actually happy in your role now as well.
I think it's like going to people that you want to be like, because I feel like before in the past, like especially with property, I had like property mentors where I paid like £10,000, £2,000 for all these different courses, and it's like they were guiding me more on what to do financially rather than what was best for me kind of thing. So I think it's really important who you do go to. But if you are watching this, like, and you're figuring it out, I think that is the hardest thing.
Oh, mate, in your 20s, just trying to figure shit out.
I just feel like no one prepares you for this as well. Like, I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah, even for me, I think I'm still not at a point where I'm in a career that I love.
Yeah.
But what I even on my work do that I had the other day, said to my director, I said, I love you and I love the company, but this isn't a forever job, and this is what I want to do. And you're already working in that kind of sector. And he says, let me kind of help you. And I think he's going to be my Adam to you. Do you know what I mean? I want somebody like that. He's got his head screwed on. He's obviously a businessman.
Yeah.
And I don't quite, like, I've got a couple of ideas of what kind of like motivates me.
Are you comfortable to share on the podcast what it is that you do want to do?
Yeah, so I've, from personal experience with like mental health as a child, have really, really been interested in making fundamental change in how we approach children and mental health with children.
Yeah.
What I feel like I had as a child was a bit more like, oh, it's okay, don't worry. Like, I didn't need that. I needed someone to say, right, no, you've got the power to change your own life. Like, don't let these thoughts kind of like overwhelm you, kind of thing. I want to do a lot of research into it, but long term, I really see myself in like a clinical psychologist role with young people. And obviously, as you know, kind of stepping into that, obviously next month, starting my degree, going into that. And as we both kind of said, like writing that kind of book about a memoir about, I'm going to do a bit of research behind that. I think as long as what I've said to myself is, as long as you're following something that you are interested in at the same time of making enough finances to, you know, provide for your family, then you're doing the right thing. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to know in 10 years where you're going to be. As long as you're taking those little steps in the right direction, that's kind of like, because it does get overwhelming. You think, oh my fucking God, am I doing the right thing? Like, what am I doing? But I think as long as you are working towards the goal slowly and surely, you'll get there.
This is the thing as well. Like, I feel like people really underestimate the power of just trying something new. Without me trying this, like, even the idea of a podcast, like, I wrote this down in like 2020, 2021 that I wanted to, because I'm always a talker. Like, everyone knows that I can talk. So I really wrote this down and I was like, but I don't know how, but what am I going to do? But who's going to want to know me or what? And I was like, I had the idea of like the podcast for girls. Like when I was saying it, it's like for girls like me though, like the ones that are figuring it out, that are still doing this, that are building. We're not the millionaires yet, but we're basically like the underdog. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. And I kept on saying it, and then that's why, like, even I'm such a people's person, getting to kind of know people and stuff. Like, even my relationship with Chase that's been built over the past year and a half is like trial and error or certain things, and it's like without that financial stability, I think people really underestimate. So like, even me running a podcast, it costs more than £500 a month for me to do this, and it's like, what can I sacrifice? Is it savings? Is it this? Is it that? But without a job and having that stability, it wouldn't have allowed me to do this or to travel or to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, even certain things within the business. But I think also with that business, when I did start, like I've openly said on the podcast a good few times, like I had no financial guidance, and I feel like I was just spending money here, there, everywhere. Like you do in your 20s, like Miami, New York,
I did the same thing. I was like, where's my money gone? And I realised that I'm just a spender and I have to give it to my mum now.
And like, what's going on? And but I used to be really good with savings, and then it's like, I think because I never had that much money in my account before, so when it did start to come in my account, I was thinking, do you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to So it's like, it is hard to figure it all out, but I'm like,
it's kind of that excitement, isn't it? You go from like not having anything to actually having some money to spend on yourself. You're like, well, why wouldn't I? I've worked hard for this money. But then you're not really thinking about the future you as much as you would like now. For example, now you are, because you know that you can earn and save and invest, for example. Whereas when you're younger, you're just like, I fucking deserve this. It's hard to balance it. You have to just learn though. That's just a learning curve. Everybody goes through that, surely.
How are you finding it now with your kids?
In terms of
balancing work and everything else and your hobbies, like
it's so the only family I have in the UK is my mum.
Okay.
So everyone else is. I've got family in Miami.
Have you?
Friends. Obviously, a lot of them are from Portugal. One thing about my mum is though, like we grew up in literally council estates. Like she has no money. She's worked 3 different jobs to try and keep a roof over her head, and she still, bless her heart, doesn't have a lot of money. So I have to rely on myself like financially. So having that stability in work is really important to me. I'm very, very, very lucky with my job. So for example, you know, any things that the kids have like at school or events, they give me that flexibility. And I think now, if any employer's looking, right, give you employees in flexibility is really, really important, because what I find is that's motivated me enough to work hard to hit my targets and things like that anyway, because it's give and take, isn't it?
Your kids are your why.
And I try, like they have, so Sophia goes climbing with me. I kind of take them with me on my hobbies sometimes.
That's really cool.
And that's how I balance a lot of it. I think what some parents see having children as is a bit of like a burden, not a burden, but you are limited to what you can do. You can't obviously do everything you want to do. But what I said to myself is, just bring them with you, like your little friends that you know.
That's what I said to you today, like when you was like with the kids and stuff, I was like, we've got a flipping table tennis there. There's a football table. Just bring your kids if you need to. I
could just imagine Leo like running around here screaming though, girl, I'll be honest. Sophia would have sat down, but I think Leo's just got so much energy. And I'm lucky, of course, again, I have 50-50 custody with the dad. So they do go to Sean's. But when they are with me, I really kind of dedicate my time to them. And I make sure that they get my full attention. And then when I'm not with them, I kind of like fit everything in around that, to be honest with you. But like, for example, I've literally book every single hour of my life for the next couple of years. You know, with uni starting, I thought I'm going to have to be so strict with my time and like what I do.
You've got to be intentional with it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm going to see how that goes. It'll be fun.
You should see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think with like all your hobbies and stuff. So what hobbies are you actually like into at the minute? I know you mentioned climbing because I see Anna on social media and then she's like just jumping off some rock bridge. Like I'm like,
No,
what is it today?
I got bored and booked abseiling and caving on my own.
There's nothing wrong with that though.
No, I
I'm
loved
all
it.
for a solo experience.
You
like,
know
try
what?
it.
You know what? There was a group that went. I think there was about 7 of them, and they were just so lovely. And I just think I wouldn't have normally, like, if I came with somebody else, I wouldn't have spoken to you probably as
Yeah.
much. And I think doing things on your own is something that I've probably learned over the last 2 years. So previous me, I couldn't have done anything on my own. Like
wouldn't
one of the
have
reasons
either.
I went to therapy is because I was so like scared of being on my own that I ended up letting
Really
people in my
interesting that
lives.
you said therapy as well. I didn't know that you started therapy because I
3
started
and a
therapy
half
about like
years
2
of
years ago.
consistent therapy.
That's
like
good.
I needed it. I literally needed it.
That's really good.
And now I feel like I can't even recognize my past. I literally cannot recognize who is that. And it's a really, really nice feeling actually. I don't even know what were we talking about?
Hobbies.
Hobbies, yeah. So climbing is a big one for me. I go probably like 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Gym, I probably only go like 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh my god, kickboxing as well.
Oh, girl,
You're the reason why I first started going kickboxing.
I did do that for 1.5 years, but then because my hobbies change, I do this thing where I get so like obsessed with a hobby, like I fully dedicate it to one,
Yeah.
and then I don't have time for the rest.
Yeah.
So I really want to get back into kickboxing. I've not gone for like 6 months maybe or
I've
something.
not been for like a month and a half now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I saw that 2 of the girls had fights, Kinga and
Yeah,
they did it really, really well. I was so
Yeah.
proud. I was like, go girls.
Yeah.
Yes, I did kickbox. I absolutely loved that. At first, I thought the cardio was mad. It was crazy.
Do you know what, Anna? Like, I really like got a lot better at it. You know, because I did high rocks
yeah.
as well. Like, you really. I think the first time with you, she was like, "If you feel like you're gonna pass out, that's fine." I remember going. I took my little sister actually as well.
Did you?
And she told me she was like, I was aching for like 3 days after she went because we went to the women's class. You really underestimate the cardio for that. I was
When
like,
when I first started, I was like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And then by the end, I really saw that progress. Like
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, go on. And I think that's like with anything, again, consistency, isn't it? Like you got to put the work in to see the results. It's just,
Yeah.
I used to be like really big as well. Girl,
How
I
big
was,
were you?
do you want? I was like 80 kg. You know,
What size is that though? Because
I was
my
size
biggest was a size 16.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
size 16.
Wait, we've talked about this. when
I'm
you
sure
said-
we have.
We showed each other pictures of like us when we were bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be well. I don't like using the word massive because I feel like what if there is a size 16 that
Yeah,
like,
you
is
don't
gonna
wanna-
watch this? Like I'm not being horrible, but for myself, I wasn't comfortable with it
and
myself.
we're quite petite as well, so like the weight on us, you can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't even remember how I lost the weight. I think first it was stress. Yeah, I think
Same.
that was like I didn't eat for like
Same.
3 months, and then then I managed to like get into the gym and kind of like self motivated myself. Then.
So you do climbing now. You go to the gym about 3 times a week.
week,
What
yeah.
else do you do?
No, that's it for now. I think.
Perfect.
Yeah,
2 hobbies.
that will do for now.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I said I wanted to do my AFF accreditation. I want to learn to skydive. Because how cool is that? Like,
So this is even another thing that I just spoke about. Like me and one of my male friends, we were both really fat and we made a pact that we would do skydiving together. So before, I think I weighed even over the limit for skydiving. That's how big I was. And so did he. So we've both, imagine there's a limit. And I've been under the weight for like a whole year, but he hasn't.
Okay.
So he's just lost the weight this year. So next year I messaged him again. I think it was like a week ago. Like we need to get a date booked in.
Yeah.
I love all of that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm such a person. My mum hates it. If she's like, "Don't go and climb up on that," or "Don't do this," I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go." Like I need to experience it.
I
Like, I've
chase a
always
bit of
wanted to do
adrenaline, and I think life is worth living if I have fun
Yeah.
things like that to do. I have a list. It's on my phone. I don't know what it is, but I've got I think like a couple of things that I just wanted to learn to do next year.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what half of it is, but skydiving is 100% on there, and I've almost saved the money for that. So I've got different pots for different things going
That's
on. At the
good.
minute. Yeah,
I like that. My thing is drumming. So I've always wanted to learn how to play a musical
Yeah.
instrument, and next year I've said to myself that that is going to be the year where I start drum lessons.
You've just reminded me actually going back into my piano because I did piano from the age of 3 to 16.
Really?
Yeah, and French horn. Got up to grade 8. And I played in an orchestra, girl.
Wow.
Yeah, we went to Belgium, like France, played,
No wonder you got that
You're like-
scholarship.
Well, and then, yeah, so I said to myself, now the kids are a bit older, because I think when I had Sophia and I was doing my A-levels, it was too much. Like, I couldn't have carried on.
Yeah, that was a lot.
It was a lot.
First baby as well.
Yeah, and being so young, like, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I actually went with my mum recently to view a couple of pianos, because I thought I love playing. I think it brings me such a sense of peace. And I feel, because it was like a motor skill, because I feel like as soon as I got onto piano, I'll just be able to kind of pick it up back quite quickly.
Yeah.
So that's on my
I've
list.
always kind of gone I feel like piano is like really nice and girly and it's like really nice, but then I don't know why, like I've just always wanted
Drums
to play
is
the
wicked,
drums.
yeah.
Like I've just always wanted to play the drums. So I was like,
I
do you
feel
know
like
what? I need to get it out of my
it's
system.
got a lot of energy that you can like release
Yeah.
playing the drums.
So I think that's what I'm going to learn next year. But all this kind of stuff, girls, like what I'm mentioning, you need to try new stuff. Like if there is anything that you're going to take from this episode, is try new stuff. Like if you're not happy in your job, and oh my god,
I'm
I
such
know
a quit
so
and
many
go.
people. I'm a team advocate. Leave.
Yeah,
Like
leave
like
your
even
man,
my
leave your
old-
job.
Yeah, literally.
Leave your friends, whatever's not serving you, leave.
I'm team leave everything. Like everyone already knows me. Like why are you putting up with it? Go.
Yeah.
Like even in my last job, I said like I wasn't really going to speak about it because I was like, oh, but so before I worked at the estate agent, obviously when I still had the Airbnbs,
Yeah.
because the full-time role was too much for me, I went to a part-time role.
Okay.
So I was only working 3 days a week, and then it was like 4, then 3, then 4, then 3.
Yeah.
But I had like, it was the worst. It wasn't in the worst job. It's the most easiest job I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Like easiest job. But I had the worst manager, like ever. Like
nothing
pedo
worse
manager, like worst manager. Like it was just everything was going wrong. I'm not going to go into the details because he has a wife. But yeah, it was just the worst. And I was like, you know what, fuck this. Like
Yeah.
after I put everything in ChatGPT, I was like, why am I even here? Like, what am I learning? What am I doing? What am I anything? And I was like, if I feel uncomfortable or not happy, just leave. Like, have free will.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather go work in Tesco and not get
Yeah.
anything from you.
yeah.
Like, I'd rather would. So I think it's team, like, where with that as well. Like, even me openly saying on the podcast, I've said like property management was not for me. Like I've tried it, I've built it for the past 4 years. I'm happy. Like I was just at a point as well where it's like more clients, more this, more that. But if I don't see something long term and I don't see it like working for me, why am I going to do that?
Yeah.
But everyone else would see it as like, oh, you failed, or you're not making money, or you're not this. And it's like, actually, no, I have free will. Like you're able to decide if something doesn't work for you. And I think these days everyone's so, oh, it looks good on paper, or my job role sounds nice, or my this, but you hate your life and you hate your job. And I'm team advocate, like, fucking
Do what
leave.
makes you do what makes you happy, and do what makes that, like, follow what serves you.
Yeah.
And try new things. 100%.
Have you ever had like jobs that you like really like, I need to go?
Oh my god, girl, let me tell you a funny story. So I worked in a casino once. And I was
you?
pregnant with Leo at the time, and I was doing night shifts. I was working 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. Now, this casino, you know, Genting, I don't even know if I should have said that because I'm about to say some shit that probably could have got fired for. They were so rude. Like, the customers there, they were just really snobby and just horrible, just really horrible customers. And I remember thinking, I fucking hate this job. Like, but I needed something, obviously, to put me up to maternity, because you have to work, I think it's something like 26 weeks out of your pregnancy to have the statutory maternity pay.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to have to suck it up.
Yeah.
But there was once this customer, and it was such a busy night, and I am like 8 months pregnant at this point. Like, I'm fucking tired. And he's gone, where's my glass of water? Like, he said it really horribly. I was like, there's water in the toilet. My manager took me upstairs, and he was like, Anna. He was like, you can't say that. I was like, but why are they like this? Can they not see? You could have just said, hey, look, where's my water? I'm like, hey, no worries, I'll go get it. But it's the way that he spoke. Yeah, I don't do well when people are horrible. Why?
I think my worst job that I've ever had in like customer service was when I did like a work from home. So I feel like everyone during COVID got a work from home job.
Yeah.
I was one of those people that did as well. So I worked on a Virgin Media campaign, but it was working in retentions. And you get like retentions tier 1 and retentions tier 2. So I'm the last person. After you've told 5 people that you want to leave and they're all ignoring you, trying to sell you 3 other deals.
You're the person that
I'm the last person that you speak to in Virgin Media, yeah. Oh my God, I get people say, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to this, I'm going to that. Fuck yourself. Just like cancel my and then when you say to people, obviously, like when you sign a contract on Virgin Media, if you want to leave early,
like
you've got to pay like the cancellation fee. So when I'm telling people like your cancellation fee is like £200-300, they're like, I'm gonna kill myself because of it. What do you mean? But after that, I just used to like put myself on like
Mute.
End the call,
Yeah.
put myself on mute, say I've got like Wi-Fi problems, obviously because I'm working from home, no one
Yeah,
knows.
yeah.
I just sit there, do my washing, paint my nails, do my hair, like
That's why I
everything.
like working from home
But
sometimes.
honestly, there was one customer as well, and when someone mentions that they're going to kill themselves, you can't put the phone down on them legally.
So
in
this
case
happens
they
a lot?
actually do. Happens a lot. I remember I was on the phone once for about 3 hours, and the customer at the time, you could tell that they had a disability as well, which made it
Okay.
even worse,
Oh,
which is
God.
why my manager was like, stay on the call. And he's telling me like, he's going to kill himself because of me, because of this. And I'm like, let's calm down now. Let's try to like sort out the situation. If you need help with, so I'm giving him even life advice on his finances.
Yeah, you're being his
Never mind the
therapist.
fact he's like, I've got this bill, I've got that bill, I've got this. I'm like, okay, so what can you work out now? Is there anything that you can put on a payment plan? Is there anything? Honestly, it was the longest 3 hours of my life.
There are some jobs out there that I think, oh, you couldn't pay me any.
What was your
amount of money.
first job?
Oh my God, I worked in a hairdresser for £2.50 when I was 14. Yeah.
That's even
that
legal.
was like, it wasn't, no. It wasn't. £2.50. I remember working 10-hour shifts and I'd walk out with what, £25. And the worst part
That is criminal.
they made you get your acrylics done. I was spending £20 on my acrylics. So
that whole one shift was like, that's it.
Yeah.
14
that
years
was
old, that's
that was
mad.
tough. I mean, it wasn't the worst, but it was nice to have like a job and build up. Then I worked. Oh no, I think this one was worse. I worked in like a Chinese takeaway where their English was really limited, and the boss, the manager, whatever, she was so stressed all the time.
Yeah.
To the point where I quit on the spot once because the hot oil.
Yeah.
So she was like stressing around, running around, splashed the oil in. It went all up my arm. Then she tried putting cream on it, and I knew not to put cream on it. I was like, I'm going. I cannot do this anymore. But it was £5 an hour. So I thought I've like doubled my wages here. But yeah, I had to quit there.
How old
Then
were
it
you
was
then? Like 16?
I was 15, I think, at that point. Then I didn't work during college. I had Sphere. And then I worked in Matalan. And then I worked at this place called, Imperial Corporate Events. It was round the corner from the office. Like, we shared an office with them at one point. No. So I sold corporate events to people and I was cold calling.
Okay.
And I remember speaking to people, how the fuck did you get my number? And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. We probably stole it from somewhere.
We paid someone dodgy to get your
Yeah,
details,
exactly.
and now I want them.
Cold calling, mate. You got to have thick skin for that job as well.
I don't. Have I ever done a role that's cold calling?
Well, recruitment's a bit of sales, but it's
Yeah,
not as
true.
bad as
But do you know what? I feel like even in that role, like, the managers of the care homes.
Yeah.
Some of them will still DM me on LinkedIn and stuff, and
Yes.
like all my stuff and stuff like that. So I feel like I built.
I have
up
really
okay
good relationships, especially now with the clients because my region that I've built myself. So I've formed those relationships. And I
Okay.
think that's nicer than kind of being given a client base that hates the other recruiter because they've already got this like bad, I don't know what the word is, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of bad vibes towards recruiters. But building your own region is like, actually, I'm selling. Because the thing is, when you sell, you're not even selling like a product. People buy into people.
Yeah.
I always say that. Like, I don't really necessarily think people buy into products. So as long as you can sell yourself enough to do a good job, then I think people buy into it.
I think that was my biggest thing as well. I feel like in that role, it was like, just get them to hit a KPI, just get them to, and I didn't really like that because I was thinking, you ain't looking after my kids.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want you looking after anyone else's kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first job was working at Subway as a sandwich artist with my little green cap. And I think they paid me £4 and 5 pence an hour.
Fine.
But then I went from doing that to working at Selfridges, and they paid you above minimum wage. So I was like,
You're
this
making
is
bank.
great. I know, like, this is great. And you're getting the commission and everything. You're getting the
that's good,
discount and everything. So I was thinking, yeah, this is it. We're up now. What I was going to say, so obviously, I did recruitment for a very short period of time. You're the recruitment expert. So if anyone is sat here thinking, do you know what, I need to fix up my CV.
Yeah.
I need to get my life together. What are your tips on actually going and getting like your
Okay.
desired job?
The first thing I'll say is recruiters spend an average of 7 seconds looking at a CV. That's all
Okay.
it takes. What we want to see is, please put the dates in there for starters. We want to see dates. We want to see, obviously, job title.
You're
3
listening.
to 4 bullet points. 3 to 4 bullet points is more than enough as a job description. If you're applying for a job and one of your work experiences or like isn't relevant, for example, to the job you're applying, don't even bother putting what your responsibilities were. We don't care.
Okay.
And qualifications, if your role is, guided by, you have to hit kind of certain criterias with qualifications, put them in there, make them obvious. don't put necessarily like a massive bio at the top because we skip past it. We just go straight to employment history, to be honest with you, to make sure you've got the relevant experience. But yeah, don't make it too long, basically, and put the dates in
And
there.
what would you say for like in an interview?
Always go in, I guess, a little bit prepared of what you want from the job, you know. I say interviews are a two-way thing. A lot of people get intimidated by interviews and, they're only assessing if I'm right for them. And actually, no, you need to be a bit more conscious of like who you're interviewing with.
Yeah.
Ask them about the, team morale. Ask them about their staff retention and actually what the biggest challenge has been. I've got something there, for them in their business. And don't get too nervous. Just imagine them naked having a shit. That's everybody's human. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't feel intimidated by an employer ever. I don't think it's worth it because you're going with these nerves and you can.
I feel like I've always been pretty confident in an interview.
Yeah.
Like I've never really gone in like scared or anything because I'm like,
either.
what's the worst that can happen? They say
They
no.
know,
And
exactly.
Is what it is. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
What would you say then? Let's pick your brain because there's going to be some people watching this like what I was in where you don't actually know what you want to do.
Yeah.
You don't really want the job. Some people are going to be there for like trying it or whatnot. What
Yeah.
would you suggest for those kind of people? Because I would recommend lying and obviously pretending that you do want the role and you do want the job. Like, that is the key to getting in it. But then personally, what would you say for them like while you're in the role? What would you want to
gain some skills? Like try and learn something from the job at least if you're going to be there.
Yeah.
And in the background, work towards what you want to. Like if, for example, you need to get a certain job to gain a bit of experience before going to your dream job. Like for me, it was working in B2B sales and it didn't even need to be a long time, but that was a step into a career that made me a little bit more money, for example.
Yeah.
So fake it till you make it, genuinely fake it till you make it. And if you don't like your job, leave.
And if you don't like your job, leave.
I'm
like
going to keep
that one.
saying that.
I do like that one because I just think I've had so many experiences where people just feel like, oh, I can't leave, I've got this and I've got this. And also, if you're a woman in your 20s as well, specifically, I feel like these are your years where you need to do your trial and error. Like, go out and try something. If it's not for you, then don't. Because I feel like when people get into like their 30s and then even more so their 40s, they're a little bit more set in their ways. Obviously, for you, you've had kids.
Yeah.
But for me, that doesn't have kids, it's kind of like when I have kids, maybe I can't like
move around as much or
fuck off this job because I have to go back to my mum's. Like you haven't got that mindset where it's a bit like you need to.
I always say as well, don't necessarily always like compare yourself to what other people are doing either because comparison is the thief of joy. I'm telling you. And you can start over at any age, Like I don't necessarily think you have to be in your 20s to start new things. Like keep doing that until you're 60 for all I care. As long as you're doing what makes you happy because what you don't want to do is on your deathbed go, I hated my job and I just stuck at it because I can't imagine that is my worst.
When I see those people and it's like I've done the same job for like 50 years and I hate it and I'm just thinking that's my worst nightmare.
Yeah,
like
genuinely,
as a person,
me too.
That is my worst nightmare.
So you did therapy?
Yeah, I did.
Are you still there?
Yeah, no, actually. So I stopped, number one, because of finances, because I went down to part-time. Whereas before it was like I could afford it. That is on my list for next year to go back to therapy. But yeah, for the whole of like 2024, I had a therapist and I found it very, very helpful. Like you mentioned, like childhood stuff and everything that kind of comes to the surface. I think after I went through my breakup, it was kind of like, it wasn't all his fault. I get what he did, ended the relationship, but there's parts of it where I'm like, it's not even about him now. It's about my future self. Like, what do I want? Like, I'm going to be someone's mum one day. I'm going to be someone's wife one day. What kind of woman does that future kind of look like? And even if I don't have kids or a husband, what do I still want to be? And there are certain things, like I've mentioned, I've done episodes about this as well, where it's like communication, learnt behaviour, my self-worth. I feel like I've worked on loads of different areas
of yourself,
and I feel like you can really tell because even like before my confidence, I've always been like semi-confident, I'd say, but I feel like now I've got a different type of confidence, like especially this year. I feel like everything that I've been asking for, like even my book. So for example, like with my book, I've had the dream probably since I was about like 18 that I want it to be published by a certain publisher.
Okay.
I then, earlier on this year, January, February, March, I think it was about March, I actually met them in the middle of New York and I sat down with them and I was like, these are the details. And they was like, here's the email addresses that you need. Perfect. So it's like,
brilliant.
I just need to go and do everything that I'm saying that I need to go and do.
Yeah.
Like everything that I asked for, or podcast wise, or like development wise, like everything is kind of happening. But I feel like it's took me to give that self-belief to myself. And I feel like if I was to have the opportunities then, before therapy, I don't really feel like I was ready for them.
And I think in a way, like everything does happen. I know it's a bit cliche, but everything happens for a reason. But it does. Like you even meeting them in the middle of New York.
Yeah,
That's crazy. But no, I can't wait. I'll read it.
Thanks, I'll read yours too.
Perfect.
How's everything getting on? Like you've said that you wanted to create a book. Like what is it for you? Like what is your dream version of what you want for your life?
So for me,
You don't have to share if you're not comfortable with everything.
I think personally writing a book for me is not, a thing to, like I said, it's not to create finances for me in the future. Like if it doesn't get published or I'm not too bothered, but it's a personal thing. I want to finish it for me. As I said, it's a little bit like a memoir about something I've been through. I tell people some things that I've been through in my life that what the fuck.
Yeah.
So a bit like actually like it doesn't matter kind of what you've been through and what therapy's taught me. I want to kind of go into that and a little bit about, because I've read a lot of non-fiction books that I'm like, this is really cool. There was one book in particular by Jessica Taylor called, I'm going to have to find it for you.
Send me it.
I'll
put it in the podcast episode as well.
Yeah, I know the author is Jessica Taylor.
Okay.
But she kind of did a bit of a memoir. She had a very similar life to me, kids young. She published this book and now like she's living this whole other life. And right at the end of her book, she wrote like a little letter to herself of her younger self. And I thought, I was literally sobbing on the beach in Ibiza. I was reading this book in Ibiza, I was like sobbing. I was like, this is beautiful. And I thought, wow, like, when I'm starting my course, I kind of want to integrate that into the book, and it's just a personal thing that I kind of like want to get into. I've wrote a couple of like chapters that I want to hit on. I'm just gonna keep doing. Like I actually asked ChatGPT, like, is it normal to just write a book or parts of your book in your notes app in bed, for example? Or they said the best like kind of time to write is whenever
it's
it
just
comes to your
whenever
head. And
whenever it is.
I always thought like you have to be at a desk, like proper.
No.
You don't. It just kind of I'm free writing in a sense that I am literally writing what comes out of my mouth.
So I knew that I always wanted to write a book, obviously, since like 2018. I'm 25 and a half years, like 7 years.
Yeah.
Didn't know the title. Only this year the title has come to me, what the book has been about. But I feel like it's because I've started the podcast and everything a bit more of what I want the book to be about and stuff like that. But I feel like even with that, I needed to go through certain experiences with it. And like you've mentioned that letter to yourself. Have you ever wrote a letter to yourself or like your younger self?
I've written, not necessarily like a letter to my younger self, but I write my feelings down. Like I write a lot when I need to, yeah.
So you like journal?
Yeah, journal, yeah. That's the word. I don't know why it took me so long to get there. Yeah,
it's
that's
stuff goes off to the top of your head.
Yeah.
If you were going to say anything to your younger self, what would it be?
Be kinder to yourself. Like stop trying to know it all. Stop trying to think that you should be at a certain place by a certain time. Just do what makes you happy. Like truly do what makes you happy. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I feel like it's so hard at a younger age when I was younger. Because everyone says that, but you've also got that fear of like judgment and all those teenage feelings.
Teenage girls are mean. They're fucking horrible.
They're fucking horrible.
Yeah, I was like massively bullied when I was it was only in year like 7 and 8. But I remember thinking, God, like, you girls are literally horrible.
I don't think I was ever really like a bullied, but there was this one bitch, and I will call her a bitch, and I'll say it on camera now because I seen her the other day.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind we're older now, and she follows the podcast page. She likes on it. She'll comment on it. She'll message me about it. All of this
She's
kind
gonna
of stuff.
watch this and go, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's about you. And she used to bully me. She used to call me fat as like a kid and all of this and whatnot. And she was a lot bigger than me at the time. I seen her in public. So I thought, do you know what? We're grown-ups now.
Yeah.
I haven't got a vendetta against you because I'm not a kid. Hi, you okay? Looked to my face, blank me. Turn the other way, blank me. Yeah.
What the fuck?
So I was like, okay, cool. After that, she viewed my profile. So she knew she'd seen me.
Yeah.
She knew she'd seen me. She viewed my profile on TikTok. So I was thinking, okay, cool. And then I thought, do you know what? Maybe I'm being a bitch. Maybe she's had a bad day. Maybe she's
I always think
whatever.
Like this,
like maybe something's going on in her life where she's seen me, because also at the time, like my eyesight has gone really bad. So I'm like, maybe she's seen me, but she didn't see me. Even though I think she did see me because she looked at me and then she viewed my profile.
Oh, she definitely saw you.
Seen her again.
Yeah.
Hi, I even waved this time, yeah. And she was with a group of people. It was like 3 boys that she was with, and it was just her. So I was like, hi, you okay? Bearing in mind, she's like more stuff. She's whatever else. Yeah. She blanked me again. After that, I said, you know what? You're getting blocked.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
You're not even going to say hi, but that is the only girl that I would say, do you know what? Because I'll call her a bitch on the podcast for that. If you would have
Yeah.
just seen me and said hello, but don't
Yeah.
be doing that fake support and
Yeah,
DMing me
yeah.
about you're doing so well and all of this. And then
Fuck
when I
off.
see you in public, you can't even say hello. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't even need to say hi, but you could have just been like, you're right,
Yeah.
or just smile or something. But nah,
Yeah.
I can't.
I actually saw the girls that bullied me as well, and their life is a mess. Like, let me tell you.
Always is.
Always
Always is. You listening?
So I look back and I think, bloody hell, like I know what their parents were like, and dad was in prison and mum was like.
This is the thing.
And I have
People
to
that are like that as well.
empathise. Yeah, you
Sometimes
have to
there's like
empathise,
things going
kind
on
of.
behind the scenes.
Absolutely. I think the most important thing though is to, okay, fine, they're going what they're going through, but it doesn't mean you need to allow them to do what they're doing to walk away.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally as much as you can, because I think when you start taking things personally, you get really affected emotionally by what people say. But just like be yourself and just allow people to do what they want to do. Just they're floating. They're like little characters around. That's why I see people as. But yeah, just my younger self. Just be kind. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Yeah.
I think I'll probably say a similar thing, you know.
It's hard though for kids. Like, you think you kind of want to be someone in school. You want to be popular.
I feel
don't you?
like when I was younger, I just always had this attitude that I was like, not that I knew it all, but it was like, yeah, but you
Mate,
don't know.
Yeah.
But you don't know how I'm feeling. You don't know specifically what I've been through and whatnot. So it's like you telling me, be nice to yourself, slow down. It's like,
Fuck off.
I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. But actually, like, the whole thing of, like, slowing down, I think that whole thing of, like, trusting timing and stuff.
And as well, like, don't let other children or other people put you down. Like, really don't let them do that.
Did you have a lot of that when you fell pregnant as well? Like, a lot of judgment towards you for it?
I did and I didn't. Like, I don't think anybody would have said to my face, but I heard through other people what other people were saying. And I think I'd have rather you said it to me and I could have just actually cleared the slate and gone, you don't know me as a person. Like, you're making judgments too quickly. But again, going back to what you said about, like, knowing it all, feeling like you know it all at 16. I remember falling pregnant and my mum saying to me, like, Anna, you don't know what you're in for. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I know what I'm doing. I can do it on my own. And I was thinking, I look back at 16-year-old me, I'm like, fucking hell. Like, girl.
Do you know what, Anna? I'm not even going to lie. Obviously, my sister, she's about to pop any second.
Yeah.
That has just completely changed, like, the way that I look at pregnancy. And, like, even now, I'm just thinking, because before I was like, I want to be engaged by 25. I want this.
Yeah, you have, like, a
you
certain
put, like,
timeline.
timelines on yourself. And I just thought, this is actually hard. Like, this is hard. Like, being in labour and pregnant and all of that, like, it's actually effort. So I was like, I don't know. But saying that, I did say the other day that, I don't know if you was in the room, I did say to my mum, like, I can see myself having a baby in, like, 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon.
Yeah. I think you have to have, like, a supportive partner for it to be a bit easier on yourself. So try your best to choose somebody who's going to treat you right.
Wisely.
Yeah. Feet massages, back massage, you need that. Because
Did you have a supportive partner at the time?
Yeah, Sean was good. Sean was really good during my pregnancy.
Good.
Yeah, I can't fault him, to be fair. He was a bit lazy, like he didn't clean up or anything. I was still doing that pregnant. But as far as it goes with, like, the labour, he was very supportive.
Yeah.
During my pregnancy, he would give me, like, back massages. I had such bad backache, mate.
Really?
Oh my God, it was awful. I was in labour for 27 hours with Sophia. She was in the wrong position though. I had this doctor, yes. Oh my God. I had about 10 doctors in the room at one point, actually, because I'd already been pushing for 3 hours. And they've actually changed the legislation now. If you push for more than 2 hours, you go for a C-section because it puts a lot of pressure on the baby. Sophia's heart rate was going lower and I was, like, exhausted on the bed like this. And this doctor came in and I, bear in mind, I had an epidural, so I wasn't feeling contractions as such after a while. But he put his whole hand up there. Your fault. He put his whole hand up there to try and twist Sophia. When I say scream,
They can do that. Like,
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah, like he put his hand up to twist. Yeah. I screamed. That pain. No. I won't do labour again. You know what? Saying that, I tell a lie because I actually
So
really
Leo
wanted to
was
be
a C-section.
No. Leo was his labour was quite easy. He was premature, only by a week and a bit. So he was born at 36 weeks and a couple of days, or 35 weeks and a few, something like that. I thought my waters had gone, but so the thing is with your waters going as well, it's not. So Sophia was a big splash. So I knew that was my waters. Leo was like a trickle and then it stopped.
This is the thing with my sister as
Yeah.
well. Like, we found out that you've got more than one water.
Yeah,
Like,
your
when it
front waters and
breaks.
back waters.
And
yeah.
I'm just like, what?
Yeah, so they went, and then I was out in town walking my mum. I was like, Mum, I feel like I should just go get it checked. Turns out my waters did burst. I had an induction. My labour was only 4 hours. He was out, perfect, nice and easy.
But no, yeah, you learn so much, don't you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
get
I
out.
would be a surrogate though.
Would you?
Yeah,
You really
yeah.
enjoyed it?
I didn't like love it, but I think I would do that for like a nice gay couple or something. Yeah,
That's
I
cute.
won't want the baby. You can have it. I don't want children. I would have pregnancy again though. I think I'd
cute.
like to enjoy pregnancy when my body's ready to go through it. Because being
Yeah.
young and being pregnant, like people say, oh, you adapt quickly, when actually you're at a higher risk at 16 because your body hasn't formed properly yet. 19 isn't so bad.
This is like our prime now to have kids, isn't
It is, yeah. Go have 'em.
So if you're a gay couple, guys,
Yeah,
you're
come
more
to
than
me.
open to using Anna's services. Don't know how much she's charging, but yeah.
For free, for a nice
free,
couple.
would
Yeah,
you?
of course.
You'd give that whole process for free.
Well, you don't get paid for it in the UK anyway, do you?
Why not?
So they pay for like medical stuff and like, you know, if you need like, I don't know,
Surrogate
clothes,
is free in the UK.
clothes and shit, but they
Go
don't
to
pay.
America then. Secure the bag.
That is true.
There's no way I'm
If you're
putting
gonna
myself
do
through
it,
that amount of pain.
if you are gonna do it, do it
for
for the bag.
free. Like at least if it's for myself and my husband and all of that, but for free.
I just thought for a nice couple, I'll do a nice thing.
you're a
But
better woman than me because I don't know if I could be doing that at all.
yeah, it's mad. I think it's cute though.
So, last advice then. In terms of figuring it out, obviously, we've said if you're not happy in your job, fuck it off basically and leave your job. Leave the man, leave the job, leave all of that kind of stuff. Speaking about roles, we've obviously mentioned like better things to do in an interview, better things to do like when you're in the role, trying to gain skills and stuff like that. Anyone that is just genuinely sat there now at the start of their 2026 thinking, I don't even have a clue what I'm going to do, what are we saying to the girls?
Try. Literally, isn't it? It's try.
Yeah.
Write down a few things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Because if you enjoy doing something, you're more likely to stick it out.
Yeah.
Research into, put into ChatGPT if you want. Like, here's the topics I enjoy doing. What jobs could I do? And how do I get into it? And
Yeah.
then just start. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't start. That's the thing, isn't it? You have to start.
Yeah, what I would also say is as well is if you have something where you want to do. So, for example, like with me in interior design, in the new year I've sorted out like a little internship, but it's not like a full one. It's going to be like a 1 day a week basically on a. So if you've got something like that where you don't know whether to go into full time or your job hasn't gave you any key indicators like to leave, essentially, you still think, oh, it's a good job, the money's good, but this isn't what I'm passionate about, then maybe go and do that like 1 day a week to see if it's trial and error basically.
Yeah.
What you said, like, still I would recommend that because that's something that I've also done.
Yeah.
But yeah, girls, I've enjoyed this little gossip sesh with
No,
Anna.
it's been lovely.
Thanks for coming on the poddy. But yeah, guys, I will leave Anna's social media and everything on there, and also that book, if you can find that book.
I will.
To recommend. But yeah, it's been lovely having you on the podcast.
Wonderful.
And we will see you on the next episode, girls. Bye.